So Raya is like this exclusive dating app that's meant to be for celebrities. Somehow Connor's got on it. God. So then when you're scrolling, do you see famous people?
Justin Bieber join you?
Do you see like famous people?
I mean, I think...
I've heard of people going on like dates with Zac Efron from Raya and stuff like that.
Lewis Hamilton, I heard, was on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually like a two-time gold Olympian the other day.
Damn!
Yeah, she didn't reply.
Okay.
Right, I did not write this.
Oh, I love this.
I'm a professional...
Don't tell Mum. Hello and welcome to Shh, Don't Tell Mum. My name's Barney.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is the #1 parenting podcast in the world.
Connor?
Don't Google that.
He watches the show!
Who went there? You're disgusting. For those of you who are familiar with our podcast, you know this isn't our normal setup, but we couldn't fit 3 people into Harry Potter's cupboard under the stairs. So
we decided to do it in our main room studio. Actually, I really should close that door behind us. But funnily enough, when we started Shush Don't Tell Mum, if you're just joining us for the podcast for the first time, it was always a concept where we would talk to dads. Now, Connor has about, how many kids do you have, Connor?
Well, none that I know of.
And then I got involved because we found it a little bit easier recording from home. But we kept the name, so shh, don't tell Mum.
This is basically Jamie's office. We're sat in Jamie's office right now. So normally we do it inside the little studio that's nice and soundproofed. And so we're going to out here. So we get a little bit more space. We've got a nice little sign that we set up today as well.
Lovely sign.
Do you like the sign?
That I set up.
That was his doing.
Smiley face was all me as well.
Nice. And this is one of the things that we enjoy doing. We enjoy having our mates on the podcast as well, so we can discuss whatever it is. Like, Connor's technically not a dad, but you know, we can talk about the impacts that it's had on his life, his friends having kids, things like that, and his family members have kids. So, you know, everyone's kind of relevant in the parenting space in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, they're all affected by it. And also, they've all been born. Like, one thing I wanted to ask
you... They've all been born?
I'm so glad you just caught that.
What was that? They've all been born.
We've all been born.
We've all been born.
Well, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was everybody's been through birth. Everyone in the world. That's something that's relative to every single person who's living on Earth. Yeah. Naturally. A lot of people who didn't grow up with their parents or were adopted really probably don't know about their birth story. Sure. But a lot of people have experienced, like, for instance, when I fell pregnant, my mum was like, oh my God, birth? Fuck that. That was awful. Oh my God, you're going to be in so much pain.
That is such a good impression.
The TENS machine didn't even touch the sides for me. Well, the TENS machine worked really, really well for me, and I had a really good birth. So, necessarily speaking, no births are the same.
You swung that quite well, because when she started going about how everyone's being born, I was like, where the hell is she going to go with this?
So my question to Connor is, do you have any idea about your birth with your mum, how it was?
I mean, I've seen the video.
There's a video of you being born.
Of me being born.
Also, it's because you're the youngest as well.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
I'm the youngest boy.
Youngest boy.
Yeah,
So did your sisters get like filmed as well? Did they film all of them?
I think like people did that then. I mean,
how
I
have visuals of people with like old school shitty camcorders in the.
Yeah.
So you've seen your video of you being born?
Yeah. So like the story is like I was, you know, a lot younger in like primary school, and my mum came upstairs and we were watching like the tape. And my mum came in and was like, "What are you watching?" And we were like, "Oh, this." And then my mum was like, "No." Had to like call the mum, apologise. Yeah.
I've just traumatised your kids.
So you've seen? Was it a good birth? Did she have quite?
I mean, I actually can't really remember it.
No, I know you can't remember it.
No, but even watching the video,
okay.
I just know that it was me. Yeah, because my name was on it.
Imagine if you could remember your own birth. That would be like a pretty cool party
Some people
trick.
say that when they have like spiritual experiences or like, you know, hallucinogens, like synthetic hallucinogens, like when they take acid or shrooms or something.
Well, we watched
they
that
have
program.
like they like relive their birth experience and stuff, right? Or if they do ayahuasca or something.
We watched that program on Netflix the other day about LSD.
How to change your mind.
And it was how to change your mind. But the first one was on LSD, and a woman it was a man, and he had an experience of him being birthed, and then he had the cord around his neck that he
took
that was
off.
intense.
And his mum said to him when he found out, like, that is what happened when you were being born. So he kind of relived the umbilical cord being wrapped around his neck in his mother's womb. That's just like
crazy.
I wouldn't like
shit.
that sort of thing, I don't think.
No, I feel like that would be traumatic.
Yeah, like you might die, but you're going to save yourself. Like, what the hell? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing is I feel we are all influenced by our parents' births. I haven't even asked Barney. Like, Barney, do you know much about your mum's birth with you?
She said I flew out, mate. She said I bungee jumped out of there.
Yeah, because you were the second as well, weren't you?
Yeah, even had room to twirl a cane.
Yes. So at the same time,
briefcase first.
Yeah, briefcase first. Thanks very much. You take that, Jeeves,
and it's
then
weird.
I'll come out.
It's weird because I always went into, when I found out I was pregnant, I was automatically like, I want a cesarean, until I educated myself because of what my experience with my mum was. I was going off her experience.
Yeah.
So this is why you have to be so careful with the stories you listen to protect yourself when getting pregnant and having a baby, because they will really affect you and the choices you make in your pregnancy. A lot of my friends, they decided they'd go down the route of having a cesarean.
If you have a traumatic birth experience and then someone else talks to you about birth, like they're pregnant or something, don't be quick to put your traumatic experience onto them, because they're going to have a totally different experience to you, and all you're doing is scaring them into making decisions that they maybe don't necessarily, like, they shouldn't really take. They shouldn't take those kinds of risks, like having a cesarean or choosing to do home births or not do home births, something like that. Like, let people make their own decisions, give them informed advice, and don't just be like, well, I had a shit experience, so you're probably going to have a shit experience. It's not necessarily like that. So, like you said, best way to do it is to educate yourself on anything that could happen and prepare yourself for everything that could happen.
When you go to obviously see the midwives and you do your birthing programs and stuff, do they give you a lot of option, or is it sort of they're sort of pushing you into a certain narrative? Do it this way. This is the way to do it.
They ask you what you want to do, and then when you say what you want to do, they'll steer from there, because I feel like they want you to think you're making the choice. And then they'll be like, well, you probably shouldn't have a home birth for your first home birth because of the risks involved and stuff, which is not a bad
Well, we weren't given a choice because of COVID, so we weren't allowed to have a home birth.
That was you're doing it this way.
We weren't allowed to have a water birth, and then I made the decision of moving hospitals, which my midwife actually told me I couldn't do. She was like, if you went into labour and you were somewhere else, of course they'll take you.
But you can't plan to move hospitals and do it and have a different midwife and stuff.
Was completely
and it was
the
bullshit.
Wrong information, because I then did my research, found a hospital that I was comfortable with having the baby, that had the facilities to have a water birth, and I made it happen.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I never ever.
That's fun.
I never ever let. It's like from one of our closest friends. She went to see 3 doctors who said she would not be able to have a baby again because she needed to have this operation because of the scar tissue. They weren't able to do it. Then I said, nope, keep going to different doctors.
Second opinion, yeah.
Second opinion. And then she found a doctor that actually said yes.
Why do they do that?
I'm mad, isn't it? It's like
Can
they don't want to do it. It's like they just don't want to do it.
Guys, let's not forget, they're human. We're all human here, right?
Yeah.
So we're all going off our own experiences. Everybody's going off that. So if you have a midwife that's gone through an experience who's pro-abortion, pro-Jesus.
Don't want that one.
who's pro-cesarean.
Sure.
She would be like, for instance, I've had so many friends that my doctor says the cesarean is the right option. Whereas I went to the midwife, the first appointment I remember very clearly, and I was not right from the education. I hadn't educated myself on birth at that point in time. And I went, so I want a cesarean. And she went, no.
Yeah.
You have a perfectly safe birth right now.
Yeah, the baby's in a good position.
Avoid it,
you're fine.
Yeah, if you can avoid it, best to avoid it because of infection.
Yeah.
Also, the healing process will be longer. I won't be able to go back to work as fast.
Yeah.
So then I took the initiative to train myself, and we even trained my vagina to get it.
We did vagina training.
Get it working.
Thanks, mate. You know what I mean?
It wasn't with his Willy.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Connor, by the way. For those of you, I don't know if we even introduced you.
We? I
can't remember.
Connor, why we have you on this podcast is we have been friends with you for the last, I'd say.
We said this yesterday, didn't we? We were talking about it. Was it about 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, me and you have been together for 7 years. So I've known you for 7, and you've been, and then you met Barney 2 years before.
Yeah.
Roughly, yeah. It's about 9 years, yeah.
And you've become
both
time. Our friends.
Like very friends.
Become part of the furniture.
The thing is, you've become my friend.
I was your first child.
Very true. Very true.
And what was your first reaction when we told you we were pregnant?
How How did I tell you?
Where were we?
Oh my.
I know. I don't actually can't.
Did I call you? Because I was in Poland when I found out. I was working, so I must have just called you.
That sort of rings a bell. Like, obviously, just like, yeah. I mean, I guess...
Was there any sadness there? Was there any,
no sadness. Just like, realisation of...
Shit, we're growing up quick.
Yeah. Like, all of us, you know, like... And I think we said earlier about, you know... Even if I haven't got my own child, I've got nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And as you like, you know, we're getting older, like the whole child aspect of life affects you either way, you know? Like even if my friends have children, like we work around that schedule. Or, you know, if I want to go and visit my brother and his wife, you know, what time are the kids in bed? Things like that. If we want to go out for dinner as a family, you know, we have to get sort of like a 3 o'clock, and the kids can be bed by sort of like, you know, 7:30.
That's so lucky, because a lot of my friends don't realise the implications about scheduling, and they're like, oh, it's fine. And I'm like, no.
Just come round at 9 p.m. and we're like, what?
Yeah.
What do I do with my son?
Yeah, or let's go out for dinner. Bring the baby. Well, I can't bring the baby because the baby needs to be in bed by 7.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's fine after work. And for me as well, on top of that was DJing. I DJ at weekends. A lot of friends are like, oh, when are you free on the weekend? And I'm like, I'm not free weekends because that's the only time I can work. So my weekends are taken up with working. So
you are a bit of a double agent that way, though.
Yeah.
Like, you've got this like double life, like espionage, like mum by day, secret agent by night. Sort of thing,
it is mad. She like jumps.
I don't know what that was. That was
what is that?
job.
Yeah, she like
toddler tantrums to DJ anthems, literally.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that is her little TikTok like series that she's doing, or social media series that she's doing. Yeah, which is cool. I think that Jamie's definitely like bounces between the two, but also like you talk about how. You know, with my work, it's in chunks, and I like go away for a certain period of time, come back, and then with Jamie, you can kind of integrate your social life with your work.
Yeah.
So you know, if you're going and DJing at a club or a bar in London, you can get your mates to come down and hang out with you, and it's kind of a hang sesh, but at the same time, you're still working and earning money. So that's quite lucky in that regard.
That also might fall into like why your friends maybe aren't as, you know, aware, I don't want to say understanding, but aware of like your situation, because when they do see you, you're
party mode.
You're party Jamie.
Yeah.
You know? You're like your mum mode here.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is
true. So then they don't really get, so like when your friends that often see you out when they're in London and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, we should go and do this, do that, and you're like, guys, I'm a mum, and
it's
they're
like
oh yeah, I
changed.
forgot.
Yeah. It's weird.
Got bath time.
Yeah, exactly. Got bath time. But the one thing I have to say is you have made effort consistently to come down and see us when we haven't been able to do as much because of the baby. And I really, really say thank you for that, because you've been like our one solid friend that I feel like you make effort with us. And
that's
really
lovely.
appreciate
It's true.
it.
That's
it
nice.
is true.
It's harder because it's harder for us to go places.
Sure.
So people have to, at this point in time in our lives, make more effort to come see us.
That's why I don't have a baby, just so I can really give you all my time.
The thing is when somebody
You're
does
welcome.
have a baby, you have to make effort to see them more, and it's really hard.
And so I don't really hold it against my friends that don't make the effort to come out and stuff like that, because obviously
they don't understand it.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
we used to live like on a tube stop in London, and now we live like train ride away, you know, almost an hour.
Very far.
Yeah, Botswana.
Yeah, bots.
So like, and luckily I feel like partially it's because you also live out of London, like basically an hour.
Yeah, I
so
understand.
we drive a lot more places, and a lot of people that we know don't necessarily drive at all, or you know, just making it out here is just not what they're used to having to go and see their friends. So I don't hold it against my mates that don't do it, but the fact that you do make the effort is like plays a massive role in our social life, and we're grateful for it. Like we do have a couple of friends. You made it sound like Connor's the only friend. That's
No, but
that's
I love
mean
that.
I know you
I
did.
love
That's
that.
mean on our other friends that do make effort, because we do have other
Do our
friends.
friends even listen to this podcast? I'm not sure they do, because I think it cringes them out.
I'm the only one that does that as well.
He definitely doesn't listen to the podcast. I was like, so what did we say at the beginning? There was a rehearsal. He went, I don't know. I don't listen to it. I was like,
Oh my God, you just outed me so badly.
No!
He doesn't listen to the pod. That is it.
I do, and
But
I
it's
like
about
everything, and I share your
parenting.
stuff.
It's about parenting.
Yeah, a lot of our friends don't listen to it because it's a podcast essentially about being young parents. And a lot of our friends
Nobody
aren't parents.
doesn't want to, and then they'll listen to it later on down the line.
Laura says to you that she listens to it, and she's a friend of ours that's a parent, so it's probably our parent friends listen to it.
Yeah, Sarah listens to it as well.
There you
It's
go,
relatable
see?
information, isn't it?
It is, ultimately. And like we talk about pretty much everything as well, so we kind of... It's not like we
I'm not
air
ready
our
for
laundry.
nappies.
Yeah, you fucking
So I
are,
have a
mate.
question for Barney.
Oh my goodness.
How
Talk to
did
me.
you find it telling your boy mates? Because I mean, Connor's always been like your party mate as well, on top of like always being over for dinner and stuff. How
No, I'm
did you
not.
feel a bit nervous about telling your party friends?
Party friends. I mean, yeah, there are definitely... You know how you kind of pigeonhole your friends into certain groups or areas or categories of your life. Exactly. So like... But Conor had been around with us just to like on day-to-days and to hang out, and like sometimes Conor comes and stays with us for like days at a time, so it's not like I'll meet you here and we'll go party and then we'll separate and you go home and I go home. It's more of like Conor is
I reckon I'm
integrated into our family life quite a lot.
I'm probably your only like real sort of was your only sort of real like party friend in that aspect.
In the aspect of
He ticks all the boxes.
who would I want to just, if I'm going on a night out and I need to message someone who will definitely come, it's you.
Yeah. But what about like you, because you said about your party friends, but what about like your other friends that you do like your normal stuff with?
It's more so like, it's a weird one because like I feel like you have certain criteria or certain things that you do with certain friends. So like Jazz is like my longest friend, so it's someone who I've not like been really close to since I was like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
And he's like
But
a
he
chill
likes a
mate.
party, though.
But yeah,
He loves a beer.
He does love
He
a
loves
beer,
a
doesn't
beer.
he?
I feel like you guys need to go out more because I feel like right now Jazz is in the space where he's like trying to build his life, his home life, and set these milestones for himself. But I do feel like you guys need to go out more and have fun because you haven't done that in a while.
Well,
and
we
he
have
is
such a
so
good
much
time
fun.
when we do.
Yeah, he's so much
such
fun.
a good time.
He's really, really fun,
Yeah,
and
he's great.
he loves a beer. I just remember picking you guys up from the station once, and he stunk of beer, like it was seeping through all his pores. I was like, "Oh, guys, you stink."
Yeah, I smelled like a brewery. Yeah, I think that obviously we're talking about people that aren't here right now, so it's a bit out of context for people who are listening or watching this podcast.
Shout out Jazz though.
Shout out Jazz.
Been a
Jazz
great
is
guy.
G. He is. And like the great thing that I've found is that all my friends that I've like accumulated throughout the year, and like you filter them out as well massively, because especially when you move out of London and you kind of separate yourself from them, you find out who like your true mates are, who like make effort and really want to hang out with you. Because you've got to really want to hang out with someone if you're willing to travel an hour to go and hang out with them and then travel an hour home again. So it's a great filterer. So then I only hang out with the people that I really want to hang out with. But yeah, I fucking forgot where I was going with this.
So we're talking about
Jazz is great.
Jazz is great. Shout out
we're
Jazz.
talking about the fact that when you told your friends that you were having a baby, were you nervous about that?
Yeah, I think that Jazz, not nervous. I think with Conor, it was just like, don't worry, mate. Things aren't going to change too much.
Yeah.
Because that was a little bit of a worry of people going like, he's a dad now. Like, you know, that's kind of this side of our world or this side of our friendship is kind of done.
There have been
wasn't like
friends that I have that I don't see anymore because I've had a baby.
Yeah. And I'm kind of the same, but then I'm kind of like, no love lost. Fuck
Sure.
off. Yeah, I just, if that's the kind of way that they want to behave as well, because it's not like we're the kind of people that make effort with people. So if it's someone's birthday, we'll always be there.
Yeah.
That kind of got limited a bit for me because I no longer have that free time to make the effort sometimes. You know, I'm like, I've got the little one, so I can't.
Also, when we had the baby, it was just after lockdown, so we were already so used to being alone.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see anyone for such a long time that we all got used to having our own social lives inside our homes. So all those people that you would have seen before lockdown, you necessarily don't see them anymore because of the lockdown situation. Yeah. And then obviously loads of people got pregnant as well. And this isn't including the people that have had babies that we don't see that much, because we completely understand that we can't see them as much either because they've had kids. But we do tend to make the effort. Like me and Laura always make the effort to come each way to see each other, because that's important for our friendships, and also our boys growing up together makes a massive difference. So do we have a timeline of when you would, like, what would be your age range of when you would like to be a dad?
Ideally, I think it would have already happened.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't want to be like an older dad.
So like in the next couple of years or next 4 or 5 years,
yeah, I have to think about like my next partner will probably be
long term,
be the person that I'm with now.
Yeah.
You know, forever.
So,
which actually makes dating
harder.
Yeah,
because I'm so specific.
Yeah.
And
you know when you see like movies or like jokey things where people are like, so like I'm looking for like my life partner or looking for love, and you're like, whoa, calm down, love, and stuff like that. But actually now when you get to that point in your life in your 30s or whatever, and you're like, I don't want to mess around. Like, there's no point in messing around too much.
I was at that point when I met you. Because I was 27.
Like, get away from me, you're disgusting.
Well, no, you were so young though. You were 24.
I was a spring chicken.
This wasn't meant to happen.
I was a spring chicken.
Yeah.
And she hunted me down and she put a stake through my leg into the ground. I was like, you ain't going anywhere.
No, we separated.
That was that Barney trip. I knew it.
It was.
We took the mick out of him. Like, how's your girlfriend, mate? And he was like, she's not my girlfriend. And then like 10 minutes later, it's like, okay, we're having a child.
No, it wasn't. It was like 5 years later.
Yeah, well, it felt like 10 minutes.
How old were you when I met you? 24?
20... What am I now? So like 25.
You were 25?
Yeah.
And I was 27.
Yeah, no, you were 20... You were like 35?
That's right.
38, 42, 51.
Yeah.
60.
We met, and then I was in a down place from like a previous relationship and stuff, and then Jamie was like, why don't you just come to Bali with me? Like, and I was like,
it was a polite invitation that I didn't want him to accept, and he came anyway.
Liar. So full of it.
As soon as I accepted, she like binned off her mate that she was going with. Then I ended up sharing a room with you, and you pied off your mate, who then had to stay with a randomer.
I know she didn't.
Did she stay with a randomer?
No,
she
stayed
by herself.
on her own.
But
she
it was
got
all
the
worth
Christy
it.
deal because I paid for it.
I mean, it was worth it. Let's be honest.
Mate. But can I just say something? Yeah. I mean, be mad if we didn't end up together. We ended up together, but we did separate because at that point in time you weren't ready. And I remember crying in the toilet.
Oh God, are we really going to do this story again?
In the shower. No, this was in April.
It was like after 2 months.
Yeah.
And I really thought he was the one.
And I
really
am.
did think he was the one. Well, we don't know yet. We're still not married.
Oh God, this story again.
Here we go.
Anyway,
do you know what I mean? So
Connor,
even Connor's like, here we go. He's heard it before.
Connor is looking for the one. So ladies, jump
Line
into
up.
his DMs. Yes.
Come to itsthebankses@gmail.com. Send us your stories. If you want to date
Can you
Connor,
imagine?
I'll forward on the email.
Imagine if the podcast finds your love.
Yeah, that would
I
be great.
would love that.
I was really
Slovenia.
perked up.
Girls from Slovenia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Number one parenting podcast in Slovenia, guys.
So let's just take it back a little bit. So Connor, what do you do for work?
I'm a professional dancer.
This is a dating
that's how we met.
right now.
Oh, wait, we're not doing the whole thing.
Address the camera.
Wait, I can just tell you.
Address
Hi.
the camera. My name is
Conor Michael Murray.
Oh, full name.
Okay,
Go on.
so obviously we met each other not on a dating website.
Yeah.
But can we whip out your dating profile and see the top
on
front
the
page?
most
What
exclusive
is your
dating app
catchline?
around,
What is-
Raya?
No, or Hinge.
Do you know why? Do you know why you can't do it? Because I haven't written it myself.
Oh!
I've had like one of my gay mates to write it what they think it should be.
So then read it out. We've got to
And
hear
I've
it.
never really agreed with it.
I
I just kept it.
You got to read it. You got to read
Read
it.
it, come on.
I've lost my phone down
Okay,
there.
get
Where's my
it.
phone? Oh,
Reach for the stars.
I'm not going to join it.
Don't break the mic.
Oh,
Jesus.
that really wasn't there.
Oh.
Bash.
Mike's going to go. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm so
I'm gonna
excited.
read it first.
Yeah, no, read it out loud.
So
Go on.
I'll tell you
One
one
of
of my
Raya.
friends was.
So Raya is like this exclusive dating app that's meant to be for celebrities. Somehow Connor's got on
my
it.
God.
So then, when you're scrolling, do you see famous
Justin
people?
Bieber join you.
Do you see like famous people?
I
and
mean,
stuff?
I think.
I've heard of people going on like dates with Zac Efron from Raya and stuff like that.
Lewis Hamilton, I heard, was on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually
it's more
like
men,
a
to be
two-time
honest.
gold Olympian the other day.
Damn.
Yeah, she didn't reply.
Okay.
Right, I did not write this.
Oh, I love this.
I'm a professional dancer from sunny Brighton. It doesn't get much more interesting than that. Hit me up to find out more, or it's open for all the chats and bants.
Okay, we need to work that.
I know.
That's not
See,
good.
I wasn't really a big fan of that either.
Sunny Brighton.
So
it
one
doesn't
of
get
my-
much more interesting
Saved
than
places. the box Soho.
No!
Oh no!
Because you could like see people's like
So one of my mates ones, I wanted to say this, and I think you should steal it actually.
Okay.
And it goes, he's the type of guy that finds a song he loves and can't stop listening to it or listens to it like over and over again.
Sure.
Right. Is that attractive?
And so many girls probably because they go, I do this
I
too.
do that too. Yeah, something
You need to
something
find
relatable.
A
Content. I
relatable,
like that.
yeah, a relatable caption
Right.
that starts the conversation.
We can do a whole nother pod about this.
Oh, spicy.
A whole nother pod, and it's like my progression through dating.
You will
Connor's
not
catch.
be taking our pod to
And
date, sir.
I remember when I started dating Barney, I didn't seem desperate. I don't think I seemed desperate, but you can say it this side. But for me, my whole goal was I just am staying happy and loving my life at the moment.
Sure.
And I felt like that attracted the right people in.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to a place where I was really, really happy with everything around me. And then I attracted the right person in the end.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that if you are happy and confident in yourself and where you're at in life, and you're a kind of a positive energy person, yeah, it kind of attracts the right people, doesn't it? And it attracts the right circumstance as well.
Yeah.
Just put yourself out there. You're going to events, like we met at an event, so like you're going to these things and you're just, you know, open to meeting people.
Yeah.
And if you're content in yourself, other people don't feel obliged to like kind of help you.
Also, I wasn't really looking for anything, and I don't think you were either. And they say when you're least expecting it, something comes along. When you're not looking for something,
strikes.
So it didn't.
And it's amazing.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Anyway, that we need to keep tabs on your dating. We're going to change that caption to something that will get them to come into your DMs.
Right.
Because there's nothing relative about what you said there.
No, it's not.
No. So the gay friend.
Maybe he just like fancied
He loves.
me.
Maybe he loves
He
you.
was like trying to
sabotage
put them
you.
off. Yeah, I'll keep looking now. Yeah. Yeah, you know
Would
who
you
you
go?
are.
Would you go
Saboteur.
for a guy? Are you bisexual?
No, I'm not.
No.
Unfortunately not, Jamie.
Okay.
So you can't just set me up with
Life
your
would
gay
be a
mates.
bit easier.
It would be so much easier.
Mate, you'd
I'd be
get
absolutely
You get so much
rolling
dick.
in that bum.
Wow,
In
that
that
we
booty.
went there.
We weren't there. We
Yeah,
did.
well, yeah,
But I
sometimes
mean,
as a
men
dancer,
who-
my career would be fantastic.
Men who listen to this podcast, I'm so sorry. Please don't slip into his DMs.
Well,
because-
listen,
What?
you know, make the offer. You can always say no.
What?
you can always make the offer.
You can always, make the
You
offer.
can always say no.
Yeah, you got money?
Oh my lord! Right, pivot. Pivot.
360,
So
180.
we have a tradition on this podcast
We
of
do.
talking about certain segments, talking about certain topics that we kind of revisit in every episode, every week. And one thing that we like to kick things off with are what we call TikTok turn-offs or social media turn-offs. So, for instance, in the past week, have you come across anything that you've been like, oh, I hate this and it's really turning me off? Or has there always been a turn-off of a certain type of social media video? It could be people in the gym. It could be people confronting people. I think something in the past has been, for me, people that openly confront people with their camera and they're like, yeah, I'm filming you right now.
Yeah.
I hate stuff like that. I hate confrontation. That's
Sure,
right.
yeah.
So is there anything for you in particular that you can pluck from the corners of your brain?
Only that little kid who like thinks he's like a Don businessman. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I told you about him.
Yeah, you did.
Like, he like does my head in.
It's basically this kid who's like 12 years old?
Must be.
And he has this tendency, he goes on podcasts and he talks down to people and basically references himself as like a really intellectual person and knows everything about business. And he's like very, very young. But he's very rude to people and it's a really off-putting like
dismissive.
circumstance.
That's his thing.
So he speaks down. He's kind of like a young Andrew Tate. Because he talks down to women and he goes like, you know nothing, you've probably read no books. What have you read one book about business and suddenly you think you're a businesswoman or something like that? He says stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's such a prick.
Yeah, he's just a dick. I'm like, yeah.
Why
There's a
did you
picture
watch
of him
it then?
there.
This is the parenting.
This is his picture.
Yeah, right
If you
there.
see this man, boycott him.
Yeah, boycott that boy.
Yeah, so this
So
thing really.
that's a TikTok turner for you when
Also,
it comes up.
a lot of the videos where people like, it'd be a video and someone's going, in like a reaction, they annoy the shit out of me.
I know. Yeah, and they're like,
yeah, like
as in like they
like a
stitch themselves on in like green screen, and they're like react, and they point to it, and they're like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, sometimes celebrities do it, and I'm like, you don't need to do that.
I'm so with you. I fucking hate those.
Well, they do it for clout because obviously somebody likes the video, it gets a lot of attention, so they'll use it. You get a lot with your nappy changes.
What?
They're like, for instance, like you can see on the nappy changing ones. Yeah, people.
That's right.
People will, at the bottom of a TikTok, you can click and see who stitched the video.
Wow.
And you get loads with the nappy changes. People are like, great dad. Yes.
Really?
Like that kind of thing.
That's
and I'm
so
like,
funny.
it's so cringy.
It is cringy, but I like it. It's you. You know what I mean? If it's my people's, I'm like, yeah, that's great.
It's just
so
odd. It's just so odd that people do the stitch and they just, because the video is trending or it's popular, so then they just take the video and then they do like a reaction to the video, but they're not even reacting, they're just going like, watch this video. Like, I can just watch the original. I don't want to watch you gonna. Oh, and someone put, for me, and one of my TikTok turn-offs for this week, because it has happened quite a few times, is when there's a video that's really interesting that someone's posted, like on the top half, and the bottom half is like someone playing Grand Theft Auto or something, and I'm like, what do you want me to watch? And why is there a gaming video here? And above it's like someone shopping and arguing or something. I'm like, what's going on? I hate that.
Yeah.
Two different videos in one.
Yeah, like you'll have someone like driving a car over some sort of like assault course.
Yeah.
And they're talking about politics.
Yeah. I just like, do they think that someone's attention span is so bad that they're like flicking between the two?
To be fair, it works for me. It definitely does. I'm like, yeah. I get it.
Yeah, totally into this right now.
The only ones that I don't mind, right, is if it's like a really amazing singer and then someone's like, if it's like the celebrity, say it'll be like Adele. Not that I've seen the Adele one. Shout out Adele. If you're watching, I know you are.
Hello, Adele. Brittany watches this.
Hello, it's me. I did it. We can cut that out. But when they do like amazing singing ones, I'm like, that's great. Okay. I'm not really watching the person go.
So the question is,
I mean?
have we ever posted anything, me and Bart, that have cringed you out?
Oh, interesting. You can be brutal, it's fine, because we take it on the chin.
You have probably posted cringy stuff, but honestly...
You don't see everything.
But also I'm like...
You're not on TikTok either, are you?
No, I don't use TikTok. But if my friends do stuff, I'm like, I don't see it as an audience member. I see it like, okay, great, my friends are
creating content.
You know what I'm really bad for as well? Liking a video before I've even watched it. I literally scroll, because normally it's like my algorithm is exactly what I want in sort of like a 4P thing.
But it's like if your mate was a big Hollywood star and no friends who, they speak about it on podcasts and they're like, my friends can't physically watch these movies because they find it really weird.
Yeah.
I know you're not like that, and that's cringing me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if the acting is unbelievable,
yeah,
it must be really, really hard to watch it if it's your best mate. Imagine being best mates with Ryan Reynolds and then seeing him be like in Deadpool, acting a certain way.
I reckon he's exactly the same in real
life.
But
that's just him.
Exactly the same.
He plays himself. The weird thing I find is when actors that get interviewed about a certain film or about their life and or they go on a podcast and they discuss things like this, a lot of them say, like, do you watch your own films? And so many of them are like, no. I can't watch my own films. And I'm like, don't fucking lie. You're lying because you're trying to look cool. Like, I agree that obviously some of them probably don't like watching themselves.
Like Friends and stuff, I don't think they've watched it.
I think though, it's actually really different because they are like pretending to be someone, but like your content is like genuinely you guys.
Yeah.
So like when I watch it, I'm like, that's them just being them.
Yeah.
So it's an easier watch as opposed to someone like watching their friend
act a certain way.
In a certain way.
Like watching your boyfriend make out or have sex with somebody on TV. That must be really hard.
Do you think?
Because you hear of so many times of people having affairs with people that they're shooting with.
Sure.
Like that Sydney Sweeney girl's going through it at the moment because she filmed a rom-com in Australia with some guy who was in the new Top Gun movie. They've done a rom-com together, but there's loads of images of them that people have taken when they're not filming and they're like flirting and hugging and all that stuff, and it's like destroying both of their relationships that they have. Like he's dating someone and has been for like 4 years, and she's engaged to someone.
Yeah, but they're really
they're
young
getting
as well.
reamed on social media now of people being like they've definitely had an affair, and it's like how bad is that they're just their lives, their personal lives getting ruined.
Isn't that on Strictly? There's like a Strictly curse.
Yeah, that whoever you partner with, you end up getting with. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's on Strictly Come Dancing.
I don't watch Strictly, you know.
I don't either, but I've heard about the curse
or anything like that.
No, so you were a dancer on the Harvey tour. If people don't know Harvey's like this little pop star. That he got. Did he get big on social media?
Yeah, he's pretty big. I mean, he's got like sort of like 4 or 5 million followers.
And, And did you get any Karens in the comments when you were on these shows?
Did you see people like criticizing heavily like like him or the show or the dancers or anything like that? Because like we get a lot of Karens in our kind of way of work.
In your realm, yeah. No, not really. I stepped away quite a long time ago from that whole camp. So especially then, the age demographic was so young that they were just crazy, obsessed, couldn't do wrong. You know, anything. They weren't about to criticize us as like the dancers because
they were so focused on him.
Because they wanted to feel involved as much as they could. So they weren't going to shoot themselves in the foot that we might take a photo with them or like one of their photos that they've like tagged us in or repost it. I don't know. It was a lot, to be honest.
Was it hard?
Not really. To be honest, I kind of loved it.
Do you feel like it was taxing on Harvey, like the constant attention and stuff like that?
Like that boy, credit to him, because I went to one of his shows the other day.
Is he still doing it?
Yeah. So he did like his first show the other day. I don't know why we're talking about Harvey, but out of lockdown, and like the meet and greet after went on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like everyone sort of like that were like his people, like that were like backstage after the show to like see him and stuff. They'd all like moved on.
They'd gone, yeah.
Everyone had gone. The dancers had gone. They were like closing down, and he's still like banging out the last ones, giving the same energy. And I was like, wow, like yeah. Like,
that's
I
how
was
your fans.
Exhausted.
That's how your fans stay dedicated.
Yeah. So credit to him. But yeah, in terms of I mean. It was a lovely gig for sure.
But you have you ever had a Karen in the comment?
Not really. Not that
you never had like parents who were like, because like we see a lot of people talking about this. Like I've seen YouTubers that we've known for a long time, like PewDiePie. He would say that like parents would turn up to his house with their kids and they would find out where he lived because the kid would be like, I know where he lives. Like we got to go. Knock on the door. Like Ali A had it as well. Who's like from the UK.
He had it quite bad.
He had it bad, yeah. And people would like turn up to PewDiePie's house. He'd go out and they'd be ringing the doorbell. And the mum of the parent would go, "You take a photo with my son." Yeah. And he's like, you can't turn up to my house and just demand I take photos with your kid because he watches my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like that's, this is harassment. And they're like, but he watches your content. And like the parents don't understand.
Yeah. He doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah. And you're just turning up. Imagine like, I don't know how to explain it to parents. It's like, who's your favorite like movie star? And if they're like Brad Pitt, it's like, would you turn up to his house and knock on his door and be like, take a photo with me? Like, no. Yeah. So how is it any different?
Because it's relatable to, this is why the Kardashians
get be that parent.
Yeah, please don't be that parent. Like, don't like come up to us and try and take photos with Rocket.
Yeah. Well, that happened with another social
media.
The
Herberts, right? They would go up to them and say, "Can I have a picture with your kid?" Because the kid is like very famous, like famously on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And they were like, "No, you can have a picture with us, but not with our kid." Like that's just
weird.
Crossing the line
a bit much,
little
but
bit.
people get lost in it. So I feel like they need to just be reminded.
Yeah, and because you're putting everything out there. It's very relative to them. You're very relative to them. You feel like part of the family, part of the furniture.
Yeah, which is what they're trying to do.
Much. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of hard to have that line crossed. Like if I saw Ryan Reynolds, I think I was married to him.
But if we rewind a little bit further, you danced for Justin Bieber.
What?
That's pretty sick.
How many times have you done Justin?
You have to rewind quite far.
It's a very different Connor.
Yeah, it was a very different Connor.
Take us through the experience, rehearsals, and the show.
So experience, I'd literally just left dance college.
Wow, what a first
It's like
show.
10 years ago.
2015, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 2015, which seems like a lifetime ago. We get to Milan, like we don't know who we're dancing for, and then we just get added to a group chat. And actually, it wasn't. I was dancing for 2 artists on the same show, and we didn't know who we were dancing for. It was all very hush hush. So the first one, it said like Jason Derulo dancers in the group chat, which get added to it, and we're like, oh mate, like that's amazing. I've just left dance college. It's like my first like real big job. I did like a couple of TV shows as like sort of like running on bits and stuff, but like this is it.
Yeah,
like this is the one. And yeah, so like we do the rehearsals for that, and it's like pressure, but like okay, we've got it. Like we're okay. This is nice choreo and stuff. And then we had like 2 days rehearsal on that. The people, the agent, were like, okay, you're going to get added to another group chat later. You're going to be dancing with someone else as well, and that will start tomorrow. And then just said JB dancers, and then we're just like,
oh my god,
like yeah. And at the time, I was like such a Justin Bieber fan.
Yeah,
Really?
of course.
Yeah, definitely.
I was really old for him.
Yeah, well, you're more of a Justin Bieber fan like now than you were before,
Yeah,
right?
it's
More of a
weird,
Justin
it's weird.
Timberlake.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
Justin
probably,
Timberlake
yeah.
era. NSYNC
Yeah.
wise.
Bye, bye.
Isn't it mad that it's like between those 4 years there's such a big difference
Yeah.
when it comes to like pop culture?
Yeah.
It's like that age gap when you're younger is such a big age gap. But then when you're older, like 4 years is nothing.
Yeah, you're not going
But
to
when
listen
you're-
to what the 10-year-olds listen to and
Yeah,
the 14-year-olds
but when you're
listen to.
20 and then the 16-year-olds are doing, it's like that's a big jump.
Sure.
16, so like if Bieber was 16 and you were 20, it's like
You're
it's
not really
a bit
listening to
young.
Baby.
Yeah, you're not gonna be listening
I
to
was
Baby,
never
Baby.
into that ever.
No.
All his stuff now, I'm like, okay, he's cool.
Yeah.
He's good.
Well, that week was the week that like Sorry came out.
Oh, it's huge.
So,
Oh
and so
my
we're like, oh my
God.
god, like, are we gonna do Sorry? That would be amazing.
Did you do Sorry?
No, we did
Oh.
What Do You Mean, which I loved at
it's
the
a
time.
tune.
Absolutely. And like the whole visual and stuff of it was like just insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who choreographed it?
Nick Tamura.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. I think with like help from other people and stuff like.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Blaze and stuff. Yeah.
Jay
Wow.
Blaze.
Yeah, Jay Blaze.
God,
Good.
this is like old school dance.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
not
yeah,
old
yeah.
school, but as in like
Yeah.
this is.
Sorry,
I
guys, that's
trained
not
with them in
relative
the
to
US.
It's not. But yeah, so.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah, so ladies out there, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Justin
know Bieber, but
Bieber?
like, I know Bieber. But I tell you what, he fist bumped me on the first day of rehearsal, right? And I'm like, play it cool. You know what I mean? We're on stage, he's come in, he's like saying hi to everyone. You know, it's like a long catwalk down to me. And I hold out my hand, I'm like, hey bro, what's going on? He's like, hey man, and smashed my fist so hard, I thought, you little prick. You little prick.
Isn't it weird how like you can do one thing and it leaves a lasting impression?
Yeah.
Like this is 10 years later and Conor's like, he fist bumped me way too hard. And
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Bieber,
yeah.
we probably even didn't think of that. Bit weird though to fist
Yeah.
on. It should have hurt his hand as well.
Probably, but I
It's
think
like,
he was just threatened.
No.
Of course he was.
Jesus.
All that
He's
attention I was going to
threatened,
get from all them ladies watching, it's absolutely just disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah.
the amount of fans that must have been like waiting after that performance, and he's obviously long gone out of the facility.
Well, he was doing
whatever.
like this like, whole like promo, so he was like in and out. Like after the show, he like flew to another country.
Jeez.
Yeah, he like flew in on like the Wednesday. The show was on the Saturday, and then flew out. Like hard life.
But
Yeah.
he just must be printing money. Like when you're doing that kind of schedule, and it's just like bang to bang to bang to
Yeah,
bang
for
to bang.
sure. I mean, I wouldn't know, but yeah, great experience. Yeah, my parents were proud.
Yeah, they were. I was proud,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, yeah.
Wait, did I know you?
I don't know.
No, I didn't. When you told me you danced Justin Bieber, I was like,
you were proud
hey.
then. You're like, you can stay.
We discussed like, I think dancers do this a little bit, and then obviously you know this as well because you danced before, but you kind of have this like, what was your up to this point in your life, what's been your ideal job, what's been your best job, and then what's your ideal job?
Yeah.
Most dancers will give you like Chris Brown, Janet Jackson, because they're the ones that make you dance. You actually dance on stage
Sure.
with them, because you
Yeah.
could say like whatever, Elton John, Adele, whatever like that, but you're never going to actually dance. You're going to do
If you-
bits and bobs.
I think every dancer would have wanted to, at one point,
Oh God, here we go.
dance for Britney Spears.
Oh, it's very true.
Would you?
I mean,
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's not.
She
She's
wouldn't
not
be
the
my number
pinnacle.
one.
Yeah,
what
she's not
era
the
would it
pinnacle.
have been? Which Britney era would it have been?
I mean, I'm
Stronger.
gonna probably say that. Yeah.
Stronger was a banger.
Yeah.
Her,
Stronger
her
with the
circus
chair.
tour. Apparently, her circus tour was like the best tour
Circus
ever.
would have been great.
Circus was
Yeah.
incredible.
But to be honest, I like not like I love Britney Spears and her music, but like I'm not a Britney Spears fan like you are.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you love Britney Spears.
If me and Connor could do a gig, we'd 100% say Chris Brown.
100%.
It's Chris Brown all day.
Or Janet.
All of his, all of his songs
for
are
Janet.
amazing. Yeah,
but if
Janet
somebody
would be
said
impossible.
you have to choose one, Chris Brown,
Yeah.
or Rihanna.
Chris
Brown.
Wow.
All
Okay.
day.
Chris
You're
Brown.
trying to be controversial.
You are trying to be controversial.
You're trying to cause arguments in the
Chris
chat.
Brown or Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson,
Chris
probably.
Chris Brown.
Chris
Okay.
Brown.
So we're gonna
Don't
go.
get me wrong.
Just for
Michael-
the sake of being like, I was on Michael Jackson's tour. Like, that's
For
like...
sure, but like...
You would still choose Chris Brown over Michael Jackson.
I would personally, but it depends what you're looking for.
What era as well?
I would personally, I think, enjoy the experience more on a Chris Brown tour, right? But like you say, Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But Michael
Is there
Jackson
anything
isn't
higher
the reason I
than
became a
Michael
dancer.
Jackson? Okay,
Yeah.
so
I would probably say no. I wouldn't say Usher. but
Michael
Usher's
Jackson
Yeah.
or
We're so off topic.
Yeah, I love it, though.
who's the guy that you always listen to, who you absolutely adore?
Leon Bridges.
Leon Bridges.
He doesn't have dancers. So
know
if
you
he
did say
did,
that.
I'd love
Floaty
that.
I was
ones.
really quickly trying to think of
Yeah.
someone like,
So,
like Postman Pat.
Yeah, I'd have done. You know what? So my ideal ones would have, like, if I could live in any era as a dancer and like knowing like whatever, I would
80s.
probably, the number one I would probably pick would be like NSYNC. If I could go on to, but they would have had girl dancers because it's five
The
guys.
thing is during that time when they were there, you still had Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And Earth, Wind and Fire would still do stuff like old. Elvis. Did he have dancers?
No, he was just a performer. It was a rock band. It was technically a rock band.
Oh,
Elvis.
okay.
I think that the number one that the dancers that I've spoken to that have experienced a lot and that are like, you know, performing with live artists and stuff have said that the best person in terms of the person who respects their dancers the most, that works with the dancers the most and is very particular about who they work with, so they get like the best core, is Madonna. She tours the world to find individual dancers from every single country and then brings them, so they're like a super team.
I think Britney did
of
that too.
dancers.
though.
Someone on that job with me,
on Bieber.
on Bieber, right, is now with Madonna.
I mean, yeah, but
was the age
with as in like
brackets?
dating.
No,
Oh.
dancing for.
Dancing.
It's like now it's different, but it's like Madonna 15, 20 years ago
Right.
is like ideal.
So the question is if Britney came back and was going to do a tour.
I don't think
I,
right
I
now
wouldn't say
that
no,
job
but
is appealing.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a
She
weird
would creep
one.
me the hell out.
Yeah, working with her.
Don't
would,
you dare.
She would. Come on.
Don't
don't
you
say that in front of
dare.
Jamie.
I know, but come on, Jay. We sat there
Did
and
you
watched
see
it.
the
Imagine
Put
like
up
the
with that?
imagine the whole budget like just gets shoved up her
I
schnozer.
saw her. I saw. Yeah.
It doesn't.
I saw her
It definitely
live
doesn't.
at Pride. Yeah, in Brighton.
Oh yeah,
With
that's
Molly.
mad that she did that.
Yeah, like it was amazing, but she
Was painful
was
to watch.
pants.
She's tired. She's older.
She's tired. She just got there. Like probably on like a kit.
Jamie's going to defend Britney till the day she dies.
I
mate.
know.
You're never going to get
she
Britney
wasn't
to
like promoting
Jamie
a
to turn
new
on Britney.
album. She was doing Brighton Pride. How tired can you be? And she was late as hell coming out. I think she was doing her hair when she came out.
Oh mate,
How late was she for the show?
Late
long did
enough
she
that
make
people
people-
were like,
we're leaving.
"Come on,
Really?
like you're Britney, but like you're taking the piss."
I mean, we're all kind of like dancing around the fact of Beyonce would be sick, actually. Like,
Yeah, but
that'd be
I'm
cool.
not
But I'm not a
Pussycat
massive Beyonce
Dolls?
fan.
We're so off topic.
No, that is so.
But I saw Nicole Scherzinger and she fucking can sing. That
Oh, she's
girl has an
amazing.
incredible
But Pussycat
voice.
Dolls is just like kind of like glorified strippers.
Yeah,
let's
they're
be
done
honest.
as
It's
well.
like, and they were super hot. They wore skimpy outfits. It wouldn't have been like the best as a male dancer. Yeah, it would have been cool because you get to throw them around. But that would have been it. It wouldn't have been like testing as a dancer. Chris Brown is like okay. So who was it? Marty.
It's a dancer pod.
Yeah, Marty Kudelka, who was NSYNC's choreographer,
Mm-hmm.
Usher's choreographer with Ackerman Jones and like all these people. He said there's only 2 or maybe 3 working artists who are singers that could have been professional dancers. One was Justin Timberlake, the other one was Usher, and the other one was Chris Brown.
Wow.
They're the only 3 people he says he's ever worked with who could have been, and Tinashe, that could have been professional dancers. He's like, other than that, they're all like the dancers do all the work.
Chris Brown started at 12, didn't he? Doing the
and
his
just
first
like
album, he was 12.
They
13?
did dance class since they were like 8 as well.
Did we have any emails from It's the Banks?
No one is emailing us. This is a shout out to people who should be emailing us, by the way. No one has sent an email to itsthebankses@gmail.com for us to air your dirty laundry on this podcast and talk about it. So we like it if people ping us messages on TikTok, Instagram, or itsthebankses@gmail.com. So it's the Banks with 2 S's, and rate the podcast. Why not? And the YouTube. While you're there, living the dream there, Jamie.
Please rate and subscribe and share with a friend.
That's right.
Now back to the podcast.
Indeed. Ew, you are a bit of a cinephile along with me. I know it sounds a bit weird saying that.
Yeah.
Cinematography file. No, someone who loves movies. So we talk about films all the time. We watch films all the time, particularly fans of epic trilogies. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, not a trilogy, but you know what I'm saying, Star Wars, all that stuff. Have you watched anything recently that you thought, boom, a lot of people maybe not huge fans of that, but I loved it?
100%.
Go on.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
You're not going to say the Super Mario movie.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
No, go on.
So I had never watched, they're not like new films, but I'd never watched these before. The Planet of the Apes movies.
Ooh.
Like, unbelievable.
So good.
And I watched like one every night for 3 days.
Isn't there like 5?
No, there's 3.
Is there only 3?
No, there's not. But there's like the 3 with like...
No, do you mean the new ones? Andy Serkis ones?
Yeah?
Yeah, he plays Caesar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the guy who played Gollum.
Really
good.
Yeah. I like that. Well, them ones. So I watched them 3. What is it? It's like Rise, Dawn, and War.
War.
Yeah. Vision Feed War.
Vision Feed War. And the guy that's in War is Woody Harrelson, right?
Yes.
The villain. Ooh.
Yeah. Like,
good.
They were just like, I was like, wow. I'd basically seen, hi, Jamie.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the comments.
Oh, okay. I saw like a film enthusiast thing that I obviously follow, post clips of like different movies, just like little short clips. And there was one of Caesar, and I was like, I need to watch these movies.
Yes.
And I finally just did it, and I was like, what's the first one?
Plunge.
And I was like, I got to go to work tomorrow, but
They're great, right?
I'm going to be thinking about it all day. Yeah, spoiler alert. No, I'm not going to spoil it.
No.
But I'm pretty sure everyone's watched it, but the ending really frustrated me.
Okay.
You know, by the tree at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really, like, I was like, that ain't fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? I agree with you. They're amazing. And actually, they're a bit underrated. I know they did really well in the box office when they came out. They're actually quite old now.
You know kind of thing.
But they're great.
Yeah.
They really are great. And I think that something that I'm a little bit on the fence about that's been announced recently, trailers have dropped and all that stuff, is this prequel Hunger Games they're starting. So a prequel to the Hunger Games. They've just dropped the trailer like 2 days ago. And it's about, you know, the dude with the white hair that like creates the Hunger Games. What's his name?
Yeah. That's annoying.
I can't remember his character name, but I know he's
a douche.
Yeah, he's a douche. Donald Sutherland is the actor.
Yeah.
And it's like about how he creates. This is like about the first Hunger Games, basically.
Jamie, can you quickly Google his name in the show?
Donald Sutherland's character in the Hunger Games. Type the Hunger Games and you'll see
Sullivan.
Oh, wait, he's called like
Donald Sutherland. Is that what I said? Yeah.
I feel like we could get it.
What's his character name in the movie Hunger Games?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
His name is
President something.
Yeah.
Snow. Some.
Barney.
I keep logging
We
in.
got there. Yeah. Right.
I didn't say anything then, by the way. That was not me.
So his favourite movie as of late was Planet of the Apes trilogy. Big fan. You weren't listening because you were on the
I'll tell you what my favourite
computer.
is.
Go on.
Let's talk about you then.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
This is how our conversation
Thanks for the
goes.
reaction.
Yeah.
So here's
I'll tell you what mine is. Yeah.
It's very similar though.
Okay.
Go on.
It's very similar to yours.
Is it like Planet Earth?
No.
No, it's going to be something like
It's
Crossroads.
E.T. and Armageddon.
They're her 2 favourite films.
Okay. Yeah, kind of similar.
We
They
discussed
are.
our top 3 favourite films of all time yesterday. So you got E.T., Armageddon, and what's your third?
What in what order?
Crossroads with Britney in it.
Great movie though.
No, it fucking
It's
wasn't.
great movie.
Yes! They wake up at the end and they all have the same
I
dream.
actually can't remember it. I actually can't
No,
remember it.
when she's wearing those cute little boxes, oh my god, and she's dancing in her. I swear I fancy her.
You definitely fancy
Yeah.
her. That was
She's
like...
hot. That's a hot
I'm
moment.
turned on.
That was on camera. I don't think it was meant to be. It's
Anyway.
not that kind of pod. I was going to say porno.
You're in my pod.
Yeah.
Porno.
You're not being our pod.
I don't know at third. We can't really think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, but that is two.
Indiana Jones.
Why do we have top three? Why is it not top two?
Because it's first, second, and third.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, and bronze.
Damn right.
Well, but bronze is like not really needed. If you got bronze
What, you
in a
want
competition, you'd be like,
You want top two?
yeah, always top two. So your favorite movies, top two.
Top two favourite movies.
Top two. Probably this
I mean,
podcast after.
we got to say now.
Yeah.
What's your top two again?
So what was my top two?
Your-
I had... no, I'm going to do my top three.
You had Leo was in one. Oh, The Beach.
Yeah, well, okay.
Sorry.
The
That's your
Beach.
number one. It's his number one film of all time.
Who's
The Beach.
talking about my stuff?
Me.
You or me?
You can say my one.
I can't remember yours.
Yeah,
It's
bitch.
obviously crap.
What a loser.
It is
Yeah, The
probably
Beach is
Mario.
my number one. My number three was Law Abiding Citizen, and number two was Green Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green
My number two was
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption, and my number one was Blood Diamond.
Never seen
Yeah.
either.
You haven't. She hasn't seen Shawshank either. We need to watch this all together.
We shouldn't be together.
How
I
is?
don't like them
I
things.
don't understand how people haven't seen Shawshank Redemption. It's been voted like the best film of all time by so many things.
Yes.
And so has E.T.
So Citizen Kane, and like no one's seen that.
Haven't seen that.
It's meant to be like ahead of
There
its
was
time.
another one I was
It's
just
a big
thinking
deal,
of.
but no one gives a shit.
Can't remember it. I literally just had it. I thought,
It's really
I'll
good
say
for the
that,
pod.
and then I couldn't say it.
It's really good for the pod, you know.
Say something again that you just said.
Or I was going to say that. I can't remember now. That's really good for the
I
pod.
had a really good one.
He says he likes films. You
Yeah,
don't.
but I
you
don't
don't.
like your films.
You fall asleep in films. So
You
what's
fall
the
asleep
point?
at everything.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to put on the film. We're like, yeah, but you choose crap films and you're going to fall asleep.
And that's the test. Put something on and then let you guys put something on while I'm sleeping.
That's just so like
Why?
unnecessary.
Well, just go to bed.
You just go to sleep during the film I want to see.
No, I know, like, yeah, sometimes it is nice to fall asleep and you still feel included, even if you
Yeah.
are tired.
But you can feel included while watching what we want to watch.
But you're going to fall asleep
No,
regardless.
because then I like to fall asleep to something that I want to watch.
But that's just so selfish.
That is selfish.
That's selfish.
Yeah.
You
It's
suck.
not.
Yeah.
It's comfy.
And with that,
Go on.
go on.
I was going to say, you've had your chances at picking a movie.
And they're
you
always
remember
bad.
you put the penguin things on at Tremaine?
Mr. Popper's Penguin, something like that.
No, it was like a documentary about penguins, and we were like, Jamie,
was
like,
here.
are you just being a dick?
That was here.
Was it
Just
here?
being a dick.
No, it wasn't. It was Tremaine.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
It was.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed
Yeah.
Connor. It's so nice to actually have somebody like one of our best mateys on the pod. Welcome to Shush Don't Tell Mum. Are you going to listen to it?
Yeah, definitely.
And
Are
are you
you
going to
going-
come back for more?
100%.
Are you going to vote it 5 stars?
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
Yeah.
Have you shared it?
Well, it's not out yet.
No, the season's been out. We're on episode 16.
15. Oh, was it 16? I thought it was 15.
This is 15, I
This is
think,
15.
right?
Yeah. So actually, Jamie, I know my stuff. Yeah, get it together, sister.
Okay, Conor Michael Murray.
Yeah, that's right.
That is his tag at Conor Michael. Is it?
One N. Yeah. Yeah.
Conor
yeah,
Michael
one
Murray.
N.
Conor
Murray. Is it RAY or REY?
AY.
Jesus, this is just...
Dead.
People have turned off.
Right, you do the outro then.
Me and Connor are actually working on something as well, which should be fun,
Yeah.
something social media-y, so we'll keep you posted about that as well. But right here, right now, this is the end of episode 15. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. If you're watching it on Spotify or on YouTube, we had a great time, didn't we? Spud? Love ya.
I had a lot of people actually say to me they'd prefer to watch podcasts now.
There you go, you see?
Definitely.
And
Really?
also, I can't
Definitely.
believe we sat through an hour of podcasting and no one mentioned his neckerchief. That's all I'm saying.
Mate, is it working? Is it
Oh
not?
my God.
I thought I was kidding you. It's not really big enough because it's yours and you've got a tiny little pea
I
head.
think you are gorgeous.
Thank you, darling.
And any girl will be lucky to have you.
That's right.
So slip
Yes.
into It's the Bankses. Let's get him a date.
Woo!
Let's do it.
See you later.
Bye.
Shh. Don't